Welcome to the First Word Podcast, the sneaker show built by the community for the community. Hey man, it's not about resale, it's about the real, the people, the stories, and the culture behind what we wear. Your voice matters. If there's a topic you want to discuss, hit us up and be part of the conversation. This is your podcast too. Let's get into it. If no one can see your kicks, would you still buy them? Like, are you buying them for yourself, or are you buying them for the approval of others? I feel like for me personally, it's a good mix of both. But, I'll get into that as the episode goes on. Hey, this is the First Word Podcast. I am your host, E. Reap. So last week, episode 7, we touched on height fatigue. So now we're going to switch it up to, the core reason of why we really buy shoes. So episode 8, buying shoes for you or for them. But make sure you tapped in with the First Word Podcast on all socials, IG, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, First Word Pod, or you can type in First Word Podcast, and we should pop up. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So, buying for you. So that's, something that has a personal connection to yourself, like a grill, maybe a family member. Maybe it was you saw your uncle or your older cousin, your big brother. You saw them like wear the shoe a lot and you really wanted it. Or it could be something that you just genuinely like, regardless of if they're going to sell out or sit, or you catch them on the clearance rack. Just like a personal joint, like you're buying the shoe because that's what you want. And I feel like 90%, if not like higher than 90% of my collection, definitely cops that, for me personally, like I'm buying it because I want to buy it. Like there's no other reason aside from I like the shoe. Whether it's I like the design, I might like the colorway. I have like a personal connection with the designer, whether it's like a player, artist, musician, influencer, whatever the case may be. So like buying for you is something that, it's personal. At the end of the day, I can't really break it down any more clear than that. Buying for you is just means like it's something personal. Buying for them, so that's definitely something to, please the crowd, please the masses. Like you're buying a shoe just because everybody's talking about it. Like that's the it shoe, I guess, quote unquote. Like people hyping it up, so you got FOMO. Like you want to fit in with the crowd. Like you want to see what the hype is all about. So basically, you're just buying it because everybody else is buying it, or you're buying it because one is controversial, or you'll get a lot of attention, get a lot of traction on your social media pages. You're doing it for the clicks, basically, or clout. At the end of the day, it's a clout cop, and to a certain extent, I will say, the other 5 to 10%, and that's being generous. Like the 5 to 10% of my collection is made up of I guess you buying it for them. I put a little twist on it. It's not really for validation for me. It's more something like, this shoe is very limited, hard to get. And, if I happen to get it, then, it's nice to have something that everybody doesn't have. But I'm not buying it for that sole purpose. That's just one component of it, if that makes sense. I won't buy a shoe just because a lot of people won't have it. I have to like the shoe first and foremost. For me to spend my money, I have to like the shoes because at the end of the day, I got to wear them. I have to look at them every day in this sneaker room. I have to put them on my feet. I have to get dressed knowing that I'm stepping out into the world with these on. So I have to have some sort of affinity for the shoe. And then, the limited aspect or, something that everybody doesn't have, that's just an added bonus. So that does tie into buying for them, just slightly, like I said, it's a mixture of both. Both components go into certain decisions, but that's not the main thing. I have to at the end of the day without sounding repetitive, Let me see. Where clout drove. Let me see where clout drove purchases. I'm trying to think of something that was hyped up and everybody just wanted. Well, most recently, like I talked about a few episodes back, the Black Cat Force. I feel like that is the definition of a hype shoe that people just bought into off the strength that people were talking about. Like, there's no way this many people like the Black Cat 4s. Like, it's most people don't even like all black shoes. And then the Black Cat 4 is really nothing to it as far as designs or anything crazy that stands out. I want to say Olivia Kim 4s, I got to fact check that. But I want to say on the Olivia Kim 4s, it was like the pony hair or panda, whatever they called it. But they were all black, but they had that design element. So I get that it was something unique. Even the upcoming retro, or I guess it can't be really a retro, it was like a new take on the Black Cat 4, maybe like a remastered or reimagined type joint. I think that particular shoe has like a few different elements from what dropped 2020 or 2019, whenever it was. So that's that, I can understand that slightly, but still, this is all black 4. Nothing really stands out on that shoe, and I feel like the influencers, the hype train, really got the ball rolling on that for that to be such a sought after shoe these days. Okay, any other one? Off the top of my head, recently, I can't think of like another shoe that didn't deserve the hype that it got. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. But yeah, let me know down in the comments if you can think of anything outside of the Black Cat 4s in like the past 5 years that like hype really drove up the shoe. Like people were really anticipating this release because everybody was talking it up. So I can't think of nothing else. What else? What else? Yeah, the social media influence that just ties into the Black Cat 4s, man. Social media is a huge driving force now in the internet age. Companies and brands, they really tapped into it. There's like a whole separate side of companies now with the media and the marketing teams. Like, you got a whole social media team. So you tap in with these influencers and they know that even if everyone doesn't purchase your product or your service or whatever it is that you're, promoting, there are going to be millions of eyes on that video. So, I mean, if you get my product or service or whatever I'm trying to sell in front of a million people, the odds that, something is going to gain traction is very high. And a lot of people on social media are very easily influenced. So that's why a lot of people, like random, average people, they just pick up their phone, got a little ring light, and posting content. They're blowing up. And, the people that are watching them, they're influenced by them. They're selling a lot of products. So with the sneaker game, man, is case in point, it's just bringing it back up. TikTok blew the 4s up. So now it's like certain shoes, like even on a small scale, for me personally, like I'm speaking from experience, the Valentine's 3s, that is by far my highest performing or best performing TikTok video since I've been on the app. I want to say it hit like 2 million for the 3s, and I'm not even like an influencer for real. Like I post shoes, like whatever. So if I, with the small following that I have, can get 2 million on a random shoe, I can only imagine actually promoting with higher numbers, the 100,000s, the million followers that a lot of them have, and they're promoting, saying, "Yeah, rock with this." Yeah, it's gonna definitely turn the tide on a lot of products, man. So that's why companies really tapped in with social media, and so a lot of stuff that really shouldn't sell out or you don't think would sell out, you hop on TikTok, the right person post it, start gaining traction, and then it's a whole different ballgame. Oh yeah, the posted or didn't happen mentality. It's like, off topic, just slightly, just an example, like with the gym. People on that workout journey or weight loss journey, they feel the need, like, if you don't post that you're at the gym, you didn't really go. Like, you can say anything, but people need proof. And I would, social media age, you got to show that proof. You got to bring them receipts up. So, let me see. Let's see. Yo, if you made it this far, man, make sure you're following First Word Podcast on all your socials. Drop a rating. Share the pod with somebody who loves kicks, man. That's how we keep the culture moving. All right, back to the action. But the good thing about TikTok and, like, TikTok and IG, you can really build a community. That's what I've been doing with my podcast on page. I'm getting different eyes on it, which is dope. I wanted to keep her separate from my sneaker page, like my personal pages. I want the audience to really, like, I want to be discovered by the right people. Like, yeah, it's cool. Like, you already have like a following and that can help you build. But I want people that really listen to podcasts or really care about sneaker podcasts to find my page and tap in like that. Because it's more consistency. When you get your family and close friends, they don't always, tap in the way you want them to or like what you expect. So if somebody like strangers, definitely show a lot more support than the people closest to you from my experience. Not saying that it's the case in like every aspect, but for the most part, you know what I'm saying, you see more growth with strangers, like random people that just stumble upon your content because they don't know you. So if they're tapped in, they support you, that's because they genuinely like rock with what you got going on. They really connect with the content or the message or the vision. So I think that's really the best thing about the TikTok age, and just point and click with your point and shoot. I'm sorry, with your phone. You don't have to have an intricate setup if you don't want to. You can be in the car. A lot of people, blew up and just posted in the bathroom real quick, like saying anything. It's like quick snippets, but it's like people really relate to the authenticity. So that really helps. It helps with trust. So that also like ties into the influence on certain products and, even going back to the fakes, you know what I'm saying? People really buying fakes for the clout at the end of the day, from what I've gathered from the comments, the slight interactions that I got. So they talking about I'm pocket watching and all that, but it's like every shoe that I've seen so far, or they like, because one comment was like, yeah, why would I spend $1,000 when I can get the whatever for half the price or whatever they were saying. So it's like, you prove my point. Y'all are only getting the fake shoes to fit in. Like, nobody showed me a fake clearance shoe, a fake shoe that's on sale. They were talking about Travis Scott, that was the main one, and then somebody copped the Tiffany Forces, and they were like they're more comfortable and more affordable, which, what I'm saying, cool, whatever. But y'all really doing it for the clout. Like I said, y'all doing it, y'all buying for them. You're not buying for yourself. So, I feel validated in my, even though I got attacked, I feel validated in what I said because nobody proves me wrong. Nobody said anything otherwise. Everything that they bought were the high ticket items, and that ties into, the pressure to keep up with society, with social media, because, certain people are showing social media, you see what people want you to see. Not too many people show you, what I'm saying, the everyday average life that people live. They show you all the extravagant, oh, I'm going on these trips, I'm buying this, I'm buying that. So you see certain people, all they post are designer shoes or the high end. I got the Travis Scotts, I got the Unions, I got the whole Grateful Dead pack, I got the Paris SB dunks, I got the what the dunks, So you kind of had that sense that I have to, compete. which is crazy to me. Like, don't live. My mom always said, don't live above your means. If you like shoes, there are like a million different options for you. If you genuinely like shoes, you can piece together some joints. It doesn't have to be the latest and greatest, but the more you see it, the more you know you want. Then like the younger generation or whatever, they see what they see online, celebrities, and they want to be like their favorite influencer, their favorite artist, their favorite athlete, whatever the case may be. So now you got a million drops every day or weekly for sure. Then it's like financially, you trying to keep up. You're going broke trying to cop shoes just to post and say I got them, or so you can get your fits off, whatever. So it's just like a lot really goes into it. So that really like circles back to, are you buying it for them or are you buying it for you? Because if you like the shoe, you can wait. They're gonna restock. You don't have to buy the shoe as soon as it comes out, unless you are a content creator, which you get paid for it. So the shoe should be free, you know what I'm saying? Really, if you're making money off the videos. But like for the average everyday person, it's hard really you have to pick and choose these days. Especially the way these tariffs and everything going. It's like stuff's getting high. The cost of living is going up. A lot of salaries are staying at the same. They're not, increasing. So this social media, man, it's like a different ball game now. Everything is instant gratification. Everything is about the flex. Everything is about the haves and the have-nots, basically. So it's like, it just ties into the culture now that it's the flex culture. It's not like just being comfortable within yourself. Like, you should be able to get a fit off with anything if that's really what you do. But a lot of people, they gotta go full name brand, full designer. You gotta have the designer shoes. That's not getting a fit off to me. You like buying off the mannequin. Like, you just going with the name brands. But you can go to Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Ross, even Fashion Nova. I can get a fit from Fashion Nova for $40, and it'll look decent. Like, it's the person that's wearing the clothes, not necessarily what the clothes, not necessarily the name on the clothes. Like, you can have a whole designer fit and look crazy. I can have a $40 fit, throw on a fresh pair of shoes, and I'm getting my fit off more than you are, and your price point is blowing mine out the water. So you gotta do it for the right reasons, man. Let's see what else, man. Just like a lot of times, I know I found myself in that trap, especially during 2020. I was just buying just to buy. Like, granted, I did, for the most part, I did like a good majority of what I was copping, but it was a point where I wasn't doing anything, and the shoes are dropping left and right. I'm getting Twitter links, and it was like so easy to get certain stuff. And then like that's when the independent brands started, gaining more traction. And then I wanted to get something different, and then they were doing well on YouTube, like the videos were. So then I was like trying to cop everything. So I was definitely copping every week something, and a lot of times there were multiple pairs. And then looking back on it, I got rid of a lot of stuff because, like I said, I was just buying just to buy, and I wasn't going out like I, was used to. Like I said in the past, I wasn't like 3 pair of dead stock shoes at one time was too much for me. But then, after the whole, 2020, everything went stopped. So I'm getting up to 20, 30 pairs that I ain't even touched, and I'm still buying. So then I had to look back and like, yo, what was I doing? So I fell into the, just buying just to buy trap, man. You get burnt out, man. I think this year it really set in for me. Like, I slowed down a lot. It doesn't look like it, but compared to what I was really averaging a month as far as purchases, I was just like, man, it's getting outrageous. Especially the stuff I wasn't wearing at all. So I had to definitely look through and give away a lot of stuff. Cause selling it, I could have sold them, but that's more time consuming, and then you get to the point where it's like you're not going to make what you think you make, and instead of taking a financial loss like that, I'd rather just give them away. Like that's it sounds crazy, but like giving it away just gives me more satisfaction than if I sold them for like way less than they're worth in my eyes. So that makes sense. I'd rather just give them to somebody that's less fortunate. Like somebody else can come up. Like I don't care. Because then even with the shipping, it's like there's some time consuming. I got to pay for this, pay for that. Then you got to worry about if it gets lost in transit, or then they try to finesse and say they never got to the shoe. Or it's just too much. So I just figured give them away to the less fortunate, whoever need them. Back to school drive. The sneaker teacher, he does the kicks giving. So I definitely that's a good chance to offload some pairs, or just donate. Just try to make a difference, man. If I'm able to give back in any form of fashion, I'm gonna try to, because I've been blessed throughout the years to be able to acquire the stuff that I have. The sneakers, clothes, and everything. So whenever I can, so I just give it back. So that kind of tied to like the burnout, John. I was like, man, it's just getting ridiculous. Which, crazily enough, after after I gave away 40 to 50 pair, maybe somewhere in that range, I ended up buying probably the same amount, if not close to it, afterwards. So I don't know. It's just like a never ending cycle, man. But at the end of the day, whether you buy for yourself or you buy for others, man, just be smart with it. Be strategic. Don't go broke trying to cop the latest and greatest or keep up with somebody that doesn't really owe you anything. You don't owe them anything. You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't fall into the social media trap, because that's what it is. Everything is specially curated to show you the best side or the best version of them, and people can portray any character they want on social media. 9 times out of 10, it's probably not the real them. You got a lot of people that are authentic and genuine, but you can feel like you can pick up on that pretty easy, especially with TikTok, because with those videos you can pick up who's being real and who's not. But definitely be careful, man. Don't fall into the trap, man. It's not worth it. Don't live above your means. But yeah, hopefully it's short and sweet. I'm switching up, trying to switch up some things with episode to episode to make it more, enjoyable for the listener. I don't want to ramble too much. I don't want to repeat myself. So I'm trying something different with this episode 8. Hopefully it works out. We'll see once I drop it. But yeah, that was episode 8, man. Social hour question: the last sneaker you bought purely for you, and the last one you bought for them. I think every shoe recently I purchased for me. What are my recent pickups? The Kobe Sixes, of course. Kobe fan, had to get those. Got some Reebok Road Ultra Modern. I think that's the. I get those silhouettes confused, but yeah, nobody's really copping the $170 Reeboks. Nobody cares about Reebok for the most part, so that's definitely a cop for me. The Kobe 2 for sure, definitely a Grail cop. Like, yeah, I think the only one that could have been like for them, maybe the Undefeated Fours. I tried, but I didn't like overexert myself. I tried on release day, and that was it. I didn't put in any raffles. I just tried that one. Like, get it, cool. If not, not the end of the world. So that would be like a cop for them potentially if I would have bought them. But let me know if y'all got any. What's y'all latest cop that you cop for yourself, and what's the cop that you cop to please? Well, for them, like, you can word it differently. You did it just to do it. Did it for them. Did it for the likes. Did it for the clout. Whatever. So yeah, appreciate y'all for rocking with me as always. 8 episodes in. steadily growing, definitely excited about what's to come. Still, trial and error, still early on in the game where I can switch up some things to see how it translates. But so far, y'all been rocking with me. Definitely appreciate all the feedback, criticism, whatever, all the engagement, especially on the socials. TikTok has been going crazy with the with the comments, so definitely tap in over there for sure if you haven't already. But yeah, you can buy for both. Like I said, I have a little mixture of both. It just depends on, the extreme to either side. You definitely got to know the difference between the two. Like, you buying for yourself, you really like it, or you just buying just to buy it. And if you're buying just to buy it, what are the benefits? You got to weigh the pros and cons. Like content creators, you want to buy like everything you can get your hands on for the content, and especially when you're getting paid for it. I get it, and it helps the consumer to make a decision. Because I still go on YouTube today to see what's what with a particular shoe. If I'm like on a fit, so I'm 50-50, I go to YouTube to see, the size and the fit, how they look, the materials and everything. And that helps me make a decision one way or the other. So pros and cons to everything, you know how that goes. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this one, man. Buy what you like, wear what you love. This is the First Wear podcast. I don't know who needs to hear this, but yesterday you said tomorrow. The time is now. That's a wrap on today's episode, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking with the First Wear podcast. There's no culture without you. Don't forget to tap in with us every Tuesday, 8 a.m. for the audio, 6 p.m. Eastern for the video on YouTube. Catch y'all on the next one.